Okay, in the previous video, we quickly built an image processing tool, and we just went with what Claude Code created, and we didn't do any iterations on top of it to improve it. Today we're going to again build an image manipulation tool specifically for making variations of logos. So the scenario is that we have an SVG file which has some text in it, to make a logo. It's called the logo type, and it's for a company called WeNudge, and we're going to go on a tour of Scotland, and we want to add various locations, and have a variation of the logo for each location, so that we can have different media assets to use to promote that tour. And so we are starting out with a markdown file as usual, showing the setup tasks, which is essentially to go and create the logo. So we've got something to work with, and that's the kind of the original logo. And then instructions on what we want the tool to do. So we're going to show the logo in an HTML page, add a button that generates 50 different towns and show them as a list. Allow the user to remove towns or add them manually to the list. And then there's going to be a button to say generate, which will create all the different logos variations, and the file name should include the location as well, so they're easy to identify. And as they're being generated, the program should, show that, like with the tick mark or whatever, that variation has been created, and you can click on it to view. So that's our spec. I've created a folder already, SVGinator, which is where the spec file is. There's nothing else there. And we're only going to use a terminal today. I'm using Ghosty. You could use the built-in Mac terminal. I think in Windows you have PowerShell and so on. So I'm already in the relevant folder, so I'm just going to start Claude. And it's going to ask for permissions. Yes, proceed. Okay, so let's get it to read the spec. Okay, I changed my prompt there from app to tool because I'm trying to use as little, to make the language that I use as generic as possible. So we're not going to actually look at any of the code that's being created in this video. We did a little bit in the previous one, and as it comes up with various errors and so on, I'm going to use non-technical language to try and prompt it again. Okay, so create a plan. Web-based tool generates customized SVG logo. Okay, so this is our base logo that we're going to use, and it's just telling us as usual. What we've asked for, and it hasn't added anything at all, so that's good. No backend, good. Client-side file generation, blog download links, hard-coded. Okay. Right. So let's just tell it to proceed. So I think there are going to be some issues with the first version. because it's saying that it actually wants to use download links. Okay, so this is the logo. I'm not going to concern ourselves with it. Yeah, it's saying that it's going to use download links, and what I'd actually like it to do is put the new versions in the folder, the same folder. But I'm going to let it kind of proceed with its initial plan, so that I can show you, how to iterate on initial designs, which is something that we really didn't do in the first video at all. And over in the folder, I can see that it's adding a few things there. So here is our actual logo. Let's see if I change the view to gallery. Yeah, we can see that there's a file there that says We Nudge Scotland. It's asking me if I want to create the index file. Yes. Again, I'm not looking at any of the code, not paying any attention to it at all. But I can see that it's created something in there. Okay. Not going to open it yet because it just won't be ready. Go back to just a list. I should do icons. Okay, and so here we can see that it has finished. It's done the base logo. Okay, it's telling me how beautiful it is with a gradient UI. Okay. Bum, all the features we expect. Okay, and how to use it. So open the index file, click on load 50 towns, and click on generate. Okay, so that's what we expected. Let's do that. I'll just bring the browser across. Yep. Okay, so here's our logo. Load the 50 towns. Let's see. Let's get rid of Edinburgh and Glasgow and Aberdeen. Let's add Dumfries. Okay. Is that gone in there, or is it already in there? Okay, it's already in there. I would have expected it to give me some sort of warning. Okay, well that's not too great. What about? Let's see. Okay, so that number incremented, so that's good. Okay, so it's not telling me when it gives me a duplicate, so that's maybe something that I would ask for it to do. Okay, well we have a list of towns, so I'm now just going to say, okay, generate the variations. And yeah, it's kind of done it. It's saying that it's generated the 48, and it's saying, do you want to allow these multiple downloads? That's just a safety thing in Chrome. So that has now downloaded the files. But I really wanted them to be in the folder, so let's go back. So first of all, please add a warning for duplicate locations if the user adds a dupe. Okay, and let's ask about the folder. And yeah, if you were creating these, for someone, having them as downloads would be would be fine. But I think, if you're working with them yourself, just saving them in the same folder is kind of what you would expect. So we can see that it's working on the warning there. I'm not going to read the code, just keep going. And now it's going to save the files in, yep. Rather, it's going to change the code to handle saving the files in the same directory. Now, if we wanted, we could actually have that as an option and say, hey, what do you want to do with these new files? Do you want them to be all zipped up and saved in a zip file, or do you want them to be saved in your own folder? Okay. So, duplicate warning turns already. Now seen alert. The duplicate won't be added in the input field. Okay, that's what you would expect. And it's saying that when we go to generate the variations, we have to pick a folder. And that's for technical reasons, basically, that the browser can't actually save things to folders without user intervention. So you, the user, once you've said, okay, I would like it all to be saved here, then it'll quite happily do that for you. And I'm sort of all look range. Okay, so let's just do a refresh on here, and let's make this a bit bigger. So let's load our towns. Get rid of these. Let's see if Dumfries is in there. Yes, it is. And let's try and re-add it. Yeah. Okay, that's good. And let's see if we can add Annan. Yeah, that went in and increased the number to 48. Okay, so let's generate these. Select the folder, and it is encode, and it's svginator. Do I want to allow this to have access? Yes. Save changes? Yes. Okay, so it's done 48. Let's have a look in the folder. Yep, so you can see. Let's go to gallery view. Yeah, so we can see that it's creating all these different variations of the logo. Now, I'd also asked it to, if we clicked on it, yeah, so that's working. Yeah, and also I just noticed that the town name has a green dot next to it, indicating, that it has generated something for that. But it still lets us manually check. Once again, from pretty much just a few paragraphs of text, we've been able to create a useful tool. What I'm trying to show here is just by using plain English, you're able to think about what you want, write it down, ask Claude Code to read it, and it'll have a good crack at building it for you, and you can then iterate on top of that to add in things that you may realize you've forgotten or that it missed and so on. So yeah, good luck coding.